Hello, writers. It's Eva Deverell again, back with another weekly write-along. This is our third one, I think, and it's the 22nd of February, 2015, and it's a Sunday at 3 p.m. GMT. And I'm doing this every week, so be sure to tune in if you have time on a Sunday afternoon. I want you to grab a pen and paper quickly while I do a little bit of rambling before we start, or open a Word document or whatever, however you want to write. I wanted to point out that in addition to these weekly write-alongs, I also post weekly writing worksheets on my website, eadeverell.com, and I would love your feedback on that as well. I'm hoping some people are finding it useful. I've had some feedback on Twitter this week, which I'm very thankful for. And I also want to thank Bev Meyer for her feedback this week. She suggested that, first of all, that I do a picture prompt, which I have done, which you will see a bit later. And secondly, she said to maybe keep the reading until the end, which I think is a fair suggestion because I think maybe it interferes with the writing a little bit. You know, I think maybe it interrupts it a bit. So that's what I've done this week. So if you do happen to watch this anytime in the future, please do let me know what you think of this format. And leave me some comments, whether in YouTube or if you want to tweet me. I'm Eva Deverell. And so I thought the way we would structure it this week is start with another free write for about 5 minutes so that we can just kind of get things off our mind, you know, do kind of like a download, I think it's called now. So do that for 5 minutes and then go on to our picture prompt and use that picture for inspiration to write for another 15 minutes. So that was my idea. And then I have a little extract to read to you at the end, which I hope will spark some more ideas and maybe get you writing more, or at least thinking about your writing. So I hope that makes sense, and let me know what you think about it. So without further ado, let us begin our writing. I will set my timer to 5 minutes. So I hope you've got pen and paper or that you have a document open. Okay, are you ready? Go. Time's up. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Now I've chosen a picture which I really love. This is one of my favorite photographs by Julia Margaret Cameron, who was a Victorian photographer. And this, I believe, is the painter G.F. Watts, if I remember right. And it's called The Whisper of the Muse. So let's take a look at this photo for a few seconds, and then we can start writing. And I will probably do what I usually do, or have done at least for the last couple of weeks, which is to take one of my characters and reply this prompt to them. But you're welcome to respond to the prompt in any way you like. So I will be quiet for a second so you can examine the photo and think about it. Okay, so I hope you have some ideas swirling around your head. So let's go on to our prompt and do some writing. That should say 15 minutes. And I will set my timer to 15 minutes. And let's start. We have 1 minute left. That's it, our time is up. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I hadn't really experimented with this character very much yet. So it was really interesting for me. And if you follow my steampunk novella series, then you might have some spoilers. I tried not to put spoilers in there, but yeah, you might get some spoilers. So sorry about that. So let's go on to our reading. This is from one of my favorite books when I was a student and studying the Victorian realists. This is from New Grub Street by George Gissing. And I was rereading it the other day, and I was really struck by how similar this this passage was to the current atmosphere with indie authors on the web, you know, with self-publishing and all that sort of thing. So I thought I would just read it out to you. There's actually a couple of extracts that I picked out from that are a few pages separate, but it's the same conversation, I think. So I'll read it out to you. But just understand the difference between a man like Reardon and a man like me. He is the old type of unpractical artist. I am the literary man of 1882. He won't make concessions, or rather, he can't make them. He can't supply the market. Well, you may say that at present I do nothing, but that's a great mistake. I am learning my business. Literature nowadays is a trade. Putting aside men of genius, who may succeed by mere cosmic force, your successful man of letters is your skillful tradesman. He thinks first and foremost of the markets. When one kind of goods begins to go off slackly, he is ready with something new and appetizing. He knows perfectly all the possible sources of income. Whatever he has to sell, he'll get payment for it from all sorts of various quarters. None of your unpractical selling for a lump sum to a middleman who will make 6 distinct profits. Now, look you, if I had been in Reardon's place, I'd have made 400 at least out of The Optimist. I should have gone shrewdly to work with magazines and newspapers and foreign publishers and all sorts of people. Reardon can't do that sort of thing. He's behind his age. He sells a manuscript as if he lived in Sam Johnson's Grub Street. But our Grub Street of today is quite a different place. It is supplied with telegraphic communication. It knows what literary fare is in demand in every part of the world. Its inhabitants are men of business, however seedy. People have got that ancient prejudice so firmly rooted in their heads that one mustn't write save at the dictation of the Holy Spirit. I tell you, writing is a business. Get together half a dozen fair specimens of the Sunday School Prize, study them, discover the essential points of such composition, hit upon new attractions, then go to work methodically, so many pages a day. There's no question of the divine afflatus that belongs to another sphere of life. We talk of literature as a trade, not of Homer, Dante, and Shakespeare. So I thought you agree how interesting that is. You know, if you're an indie author like myself and self-publishing, do you agree with this character? Do you consider yourself a tradesman or a divinely inspired artist? And if you need to be a bit of both, which I think we probably do, then how do you find a balance? How do you keep your artistic integrity intact when you're writing for a general public, or if you're writing popular fiction. So I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I think it would be a worthy subject for a free write, perhaps, to get some of your ideas down. But that's all from me for this week, and I hope you will join me next week on Sunday at the same time. Let me know if the time is good for you as well. I could shift around a bit. I just think that Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon is quite a nice time to be writing. So thanks so much. Please do visit my website if you have time to check out my free writing workshops. And keep writing. Thanks.